Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you a lot. Thanks so much for being here. For 6 years, he lived in Kuwait. Music is his universe, and it is a universal language. He always wanted to express his thoughts, his emotions, and he chose music as his passion, Abdullaziz.
And also the musicians and also the producers, and even the music from him also is a language to begin to speak. When words already fail, music always goes. It becomes a big part of his life and his teen, and also he been already ever since spent a lot of time creating music, home studio, and even too many times to play outdoor and even indoor. So let's welcome our special guest today, the distinguished Shuffal Sharma, a musical expert ravist. It's like the Russian instrument. And also Silas Costa, he's a musician and also a producer and guitar player. Hello everyone and good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Good morning to you.
Morning.
Good morning to both of you, and this is an excellent instrument. And what I said at the beginning, it looks like a turtle's back.
Turtle's back, yep. And even we call it as a UFO instrument. So
Okay.
it looks like UFO stuff and all.
Yes, indeed. It really looks like a UFO, doesn't it, Abdullaziz?
And also we are not satisfied. We have to play more later, but first of all, we're eager to know you more. So Shuffal, I see you are very expert in this instrument, but people always want to know in the beginning from the scratch.
Yeah.
What about your music background?
Music background is like, in my back home, I got my aunt, she used to be the vocal teacher.
Nice.
So we used to have all kind of Indian classical instrument, like a sitar, tabla, harmonium. We have like, you know, the instrument which is produced there, which we call sarangi. It's like, because the place I'm from is like in the northeastern India. It's near to the Nepal, to the border, to the Bhutan. So, you know, the mixed nationalities over there and the different taste of instruments. So, and in the beginning, like as I mentioned, like I'm from Darjeeling, so we used to say that since beginning, like since I was young, if you hit the stone over there, the stone either hit to the photographer or the musicians.
It's like everything in one stone
Yeah,
together.
so like lots of talents over there, you know, and I'm very thankful for myself. I grew up in that place. And slowly I came to with the guitar. First my instrument was a guitar.
Nice.
And I play guitar. Then I turned into something like, I played for 6 years, 7 years. Then I come with the ravas, which is like, you know, as you know, the sound, it's so healing. It's so healing and all.
It's like a therapist right here.
Yeah,
It is smooth, and the sound is really smooth. It calms us down. And how about you, Silas? I know that you're a composer and a guitarist. What instruments do you play as well?
Well, for me, it started all in school with rock music, so naturally I picked up the guitar. And from then on, I explored a little bit of every instrument because I used to work in a musical shop, lots of different kinds of instruments, a little bit of piano, keyboards, drums. So I got the hang of a lot of different types of instruments. When it comes to the drums, it's not as good as that though. He's something else. But yes, and that helped me to come up with more production techniques and make my own music, to have a perspective of different instruments, how they gel well together. So I'm a producer, as well as I mix music, I record it. So it's really a good feeling to have something to do this as a passion, as a part-time.
Yes, as a passion. And this is the music is what else than a passion, Abdullaziz.
And also it's a universal language, but in the beginning I already noticed how the sync between you two. So Shuffal, how did you meet each other? I know nothing happens for the coincidence, maybe sometimes coincidence like it meets. So tell me more about your stories.
It was like, I used to play the instrument in the yoga over here, yoga even. And like, I was doing a music therapy over there, people lying down, what we call as nada yoga.
Yeah.
And like, he came like with his friend, and you know, that time he come to me and we introduced to each other. Like,
Nice.
do you play good music? He told me like that. And I was like, yes. Do you play the music? And he's like, yeah, I'm a producer. I do music.
Nice.
And okay, let's catch up. Why not we catch up? And I went to his home. He got a little studio over here now, and we created one track. It's called a spell. It was like, what's a coincidence? Like we just played, we recorded without practice, and it sounds really, really nice.
How long it was that time when you met each other?
It was like 3 years. I think?
3 years ago.
3 years.
3 years ago. That's why they have too many sync to each other. Like everyone have his own beats, Amal.
Yes, indeed. And they can listen to each other without even speaking, without any word. So Silas, you produced that one track. It's called The Spell, right?
Yes.
So how did you come to the music and at the same time a spell?
Normally, when it comes to writing or producing, it's fun when you're collaborating with someone. And with Shuffal, it was quite natural because when we play together, there's this synergy, especially with instruments like this. It's difficult to plan things ahead, so we have to see how it comes up on the spot. So that's what Spell was about. We met at my place, we jammed a little bit, and we found something that we really liked, and we wanted to document it.
Nice.
So that's the process.
So he mentioned something about the document. So the beginning, you play something very nice. So I want to know the name of this music. You were created by your own, right? Tell me about the story of this music and the name of it.
The name of this I will give is like The Patience.
Patience.
Because at the end, whenever why I create this music is like, in our daily life, we are working through the stress, we are working through the coronavirus, the pandemic, people are losing their job, they're getting jobless and everything. And I was like, why not create this instrument, this music? So at the end, when we listen to each other, you get calm, your stress goes down. So I name as a patience on this one.
Nice.
Patience, that's so nice. To have patience to meet all of those, let's say, earthly demands all around us, all the stress that we are in the pandemic. So Silas, I know that when you sit together, the music just flows like that. Do you think beforehand about it?
Like I said, we just we have a few techniques that we know.
Yes.
And
can you
when
share
it
a
comes
little bit of those techniques?
Well, it's
Exclusive to
mostly
us.
the exclusive to us. I guess to all the viewers as well. It's mostly the drum thing. It starts with the rhythm, obviously, all the time with him, and I follow.
Okay.
That's how we create the whole synergy. Once we have the rhythm, we introduce the melodic ideas and the differences that we want to portray in the song.
How about we start now, Abdullaziz?
Yeah.
A little bit of the drums, and then Silas will follow.
Sure.
Play something for us.
All right.
Let's do that.
What do you think about what they were going to play?
Well, that was patience, and now I think it's coolness.
It's cool.
In fact, we're going to play our song, Spell, here.
Spell.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful, yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
It is
thank
a
you.
spell. We
I
just
love the last
spell.
touch like this.
no,
It's the last touch.
Yeah, thank
So this, you start from guitar,
Yeah.
Shuffal. So how long you were starting playing with Ravist? How what has give you the motivation to play with this instrument?
It was like before, because you know, and when I play guitar, I was like, I always want to explore music to the maximum level, you know, and more into the acoustic, not in electronics. And I was like looking at the Facebook and Instagram, and I found one guy wearing like some weird instrument, and I was like, what is this instrument? And that time I go to website and all, because it's easy to access, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this one. And when I go to the website, it was like, oh, it is a higher price, you know. It was a good price, you know. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna. Then what I did, I downloaded my iPad. So I downloaded my iPad. So I created music in my iPad, you know. Then, I just started doing the percussion in the tables. Like I keep playing on the tables, anywhere when I feel the surface over there, I just keep playing on it, you know. And slowly, like I save money on it, you know. I get my support from my family, like I convince them, let's get this one. And I was like, okay.
That must be hard.
Yeah, that must be hard. And my mom, like, because as I told you, we are from musical backgrounds, so they have a little bit of feeling inside it. So music can be something, because when I come here, I have no friend. Through music, I make friends in Kuwait.
Nice. That's why we say at all the beginning, if you want to make people, even in the airports, every place, just play. Play always make people gather.
Yes, indeed. And as you just said in the beginning, music is a universal language. You don't need to speak the language. You don't need to tell the words. Just listen and feel. What I have noticed, Silas, that the sync that you have with Shuffal and the sound of both, you are playing up and down the rhythm. So when you do that, just comes by that with you, natural.
Yes, having an instrument like guitar, definitely there's more freedom of notes that I can play here. So whatever the instrument cannot cover, the ravas cannot cover, it's something that I complement him with. The background melody. So it like you said, it just comes.
So you have, this is a non-electronic guitar.
Yes.
How about the electronic ones? You said you started with rocks.
Yes.
So I think that would be electronic.
Yeah.
I started loud and heavy.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, generally I do. Even my compositions are pretty much oriented towards rock. But when it comes to us, like I said, depending on the collaboration, you have to change your instrument. So if you know the guitar, you can play it electric or acoustic. So it's a family. It's
family,
It's a family of instruments.
Family instrument, and they start like long time ago in the home studio. I know people like to hear something about the universal language, which is like that fits the soul. So I want to ask you something. Did you perform here in Kuwait? I know there is some glimpse about your working. Tell me about your performance, like live.
The performance, I did performance, like I did before. I started with the coffee shops, and like people used to call us like in the small gathering. It was before coronavirus, when the life was normal. And even after that, I'm doing like mostly into the yoga events. So it's like sunrise yoga, sunset yoga, where people are calm down, and they just want the vibe on it.
Yes.
Because like when I came in Kuwait that time, like 6 years ago, I used to be the indoor player, 4 walls player, and I meet one friend in my shop. I was working in my place, and I meet as a customer, and he was like, he was a photographer.
Okay.
And the coincidence, like we born in the same day. He was, the birthday was same day.
That's good coincidence.
Yeah, and he was like, do you play guitar or any music? I was like, yeah, I do play music. And he was like, okay, I'm a photographer. Okay, so let's meet up. And we come outside, and I was just doing my guitar stuff and all this, and he's taking pictures. And all of a sudden, he kept liking my music. So he was like, why don't you come outside the wall, where you can explore your talent? And I was like, okay, let's, and he kept insisting me, come over. And I came over and I keep playing, and since that time I start getting gigs.
Getting better and better.
Yeah.
Amazing, Amal.
It is amazing. It's just like the stars has really put all those together, so you can start all those. Well, I think, as Abdullaziz always says, good times runs fast, and we came to the end of this episode with a wonderful ending, Abdullaziz.
Wonderful ending, but there is something else. You already say, I already started playing indoor, now you are playing outdoor in the studio live.
Sure.
We want to listen to something else. We are not satisfied.
Sure, not a problem.
So we want to end the show with your music.
All right. Let's go. I'll start with the bit.
Go with something.
Yeah. What do you think, Amal?
Something really soothing.